Happy Monday. I am just finished my videos. Alex is upstairs watching TV. And I just turned the Mist movie on, which I saw years ago when I was visiting my friend in Denver. I haven't seen it since. But I do remember like a couple funny lines because my friend and I used to say it. This one part when this guy walks out in the mall into the mist. And Marcia Gay Harden says, there's my painting in the background. Marcia Gay Harden says in the back, she says, he says something and he goes, something bitch, and she goes, yeah, you can discuss that with your maker when you meet him in a few minutes, meaning that he's going to be dead, which he is. So anyway, it's a good movie though if you've never seen it before. I'm just cleaning up my stuff. I need to clean. Alex was cleaning up earlier, and I need to clean this house tomorrow. I have nothing to do for the next 3 days. But I think tomorrow I'm going to take Boo Radley to the vet if I can get in because he's still sick today. I think he has like a cold. So I'm going to take him if I can get a doctor's appointment tomorrow for him, little guy. We're worried because he's eating, but he looks like he's like losing weight. So, and it is currently 7:52. I uploaded my videos. I'm uploading my videos. Alex is watching TV upstairs. And I'm getting ready to go to my meeting here in just a little bit. So. This whole mantle needs to be dusted. Look, Alex put all of his Wii games there. I told him I would take the Christmas tree down tomorrow. There, everything's right as rain. Right as rain. Now I have to put all this stuff back over here. It's right here. Alex was like, it does look like it's, ow, shit. He was like, is your cactus dying? It does kind of look like my cactus is dying a little bit. But I just watered it. Why does it look like it's dying? What is this in here? I have no idea what that is. I don't know if somebody sent this to me and it ended up in there. I don't honestly know what it is. This is really sad. Boo Radley's not even coming down from upstairs anymore. He's like staying upstairs. So I'm gonna go get my phone cord and I'll be right back down. Boo Radley. What are you doing, bud? You sitting there watching? You okay, Boo? Well, you look pretty comfy on my pillow, Boo. I'm pretty comfortable. I don't think we'll need to go to the doctor. What are you watching?
Cable Girls.
What's Cable Girls?
Show on Netflix, the new one. It's from Spain, so it's all in Spanish.
Do you like it?
It's cute.
He seems like he's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, he was being annoying a minute ago, so I think he's fine.
How is he being annoying?
Like he was just like crawling up on my neck and would not let me like relax.
Boo Radley. Maybe he is allergic to that food. I also kind of wonder if it's not the humidifier.
No. The because he was fine when I was on.
No, that night he wasn't fine. That's why I turned it off. All right, I'm gonna go plug in my phone downstairs and do some bills and stuff, and then I've got to leave here in about half an hour to my meeting. You're just watching TV and stuff. I love you. I love you. I love you.
You're welcome.
Are you gonna fall asleep early tonight? This looks like
I had a long week.
this is gonna be an early night for Alex. Alex sometimes can fall asleep. Like you've fallen asleep before at like 7 and then slept for like 15 hours. True story, right? Yeah, he loves to sleep. How much did you sleep in like high school and college?
I mean, when I could, a lot, but not often. Because that work.
Didn't you say you used to sleep a lot though, like on your days off?
But that's what I just said. When I could, a lot, but not a lot because I have to go to school and work and stuff.
Yeah. What's the longest you've ever slept in a row?
I don't know.
A whole day? He's like, okay, I'm ready to get back to my TV show now.
Yeah, these questions are done.
These questions are done, see? Some husbands like football. Some like Netflix. Baby, what do you want, sweetheart? Do you hear the dogs chasing after me? Oh, my Lord. I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, you know what? Oh, my God. I just figured it out. So, PP's been having really runny poop the last 2 days, and I couldn't figure it out why. And it's because of this organic peanut butter that I bought from Fresh Time. It's the only peanut butter we have left. Now, let me just show you this, okay? Can you see? It's like runny. Do you see that? Who wants peanut butter that's runny like that? Look at that. It's so gross. It doesn't even taste good. Don't buy the peanut butter at Fresh Time. Just don't. Right, Tucker? He said, that's right, unless you want to give it to me. Okay. I love you, I love you, I love you. I can't do that stuff. I'm such a freak. Okay, I'm gonna get off here and I will be back. My vlog from yesterday was 1 hour and 10 minutes, you guys. Too much. Okay, I'll be back here in just a little bit. Bye. Hello. So, I went to my meeting, which was fantastic. And I walked out and we had about 2 inches of snow. So I am going home and my camera is dead. It's like the battery is on yellow. And my phone is at like 50%. I just went and got Tanya and we, well, she got a fountain pop, I got a Gatorade. Excuse me. And then we went to the kennel so she could let all the dogs out for the night because she goes there every night and lets the dogs out. And then I sat there and watched 60 Days In on my phone while she was doing that and drank my Gatorade and I had a little snack because I didn't really eat earlier because we went to Fridays and I had like this broccoli cheddar soup and it was not great, and I had a side salad that I hardly ate. I was so disappointed in it. Like Fridays was not good. I wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory and get a grilled cheese sandwich, but whatever. And so I'm gonna go home. It's kind of stopped snowing now. It's supposed to start picking up again at like 4 in the morning. So I'm gonna charge my camera and I'm gonna charge my phone for a little bit and then film the rest of my vlog. It's very pretty outside. The interstate's like right next to me and it's like people are going really fast, so it must not be bad on the interstate. And I'm like on a side road right now. But like it's snow, it's not ice, so it's easier driving. My car gets so hot. Whew. I have nothing to do the next 3 days. I'm very excited about it. I'm gonna read. I went to the bookstore today and I bought, I think, 5 books. So I'm gonna read the next couple days, and then I'm almost done with The Woman in the Window. I have like 2.5 hours left. And I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna get some stuff done. People have been like begging me to make merchandise for so long. I think I'm gonna try to do that and figure that out, and the ringtones. I know it's stupid, but I'm like, oh well, that might be kind of fun. So I'm gonna try to do that in the next couple days and clean the house, get my laundry done. We're buying a washer and dryer at the end of this month, finally. Alex is like, why don't we just buy a washer at the same time too? And I'm like, okay, let's just do that. So excited about that. I'm excited about finally having a washer. I was just telling Tanya that, and she's like, she was telling me that I should go to like when you go to the store, you can go to the dent department, and sometimes like if they have a little dent on it, you can get it for a lot cheaper. I didn't know that. So I was like, well, I mean, if they have it, I'll check it out, you know? Because we don't care if it has a little dent on it. I'm actually really tired. I could go to bed right now. I wanted to make this vlog longer though, so if I had let my camera charge earlier, see, Peter, if you were smart. I usually keep it plugged in like always when I'm not filming, but I think what I did was, I think I plugged it in to upload my booktube video and my Peterisms video, and then I didn't like turn the camera off, and because it was just sitting there waiting for me to take, and so I think that's what happened. Anyway, it's been a really peaceful night. I need to get an oil change. Tanya told me she's worried that maybe Boo has an upper respiratory infection, so I'm gonna have to call the vet tomorrow and see what they say, and I might have to take him in there tomorrow, little guy. Tucker and Pee-Pee don't mind driving in the car, but Boo Radley does not like driving in the car. I'm going so slow, can you guys feel it? The roads really aren't even that bad. I mean, it's a really fun weekend. Alex and I hung out like the whole weekend together. He went over to, well, we went to Melissa and Jason's too, because he was helping his friend Kayla like record this song for The Voice. And then he stayed over there. I hung out with Melissa for a little bit. Melissa and Jason just got back from New Orleans today, and so she was telling me all about it and all the things they saw, and she went down there to like a pit bull rescue, you know. So Melissa, I don't know if you know this, but she does like a lot of like dog rescue stuff and dog transfers, and so she like visited this pit bull rescue that's apparently on Animal Planet. I don't know, she was telling me all about it. And then they went like everywhere in the French Quarter and stuff, and she had a really good time. She was really excited. They went down there with 2 other couples. They went down there with Aaron and Eric, and then they went down there with another couple. So they had a good time. She's like, I heard we had some really bad weather, and I was like, yeah, it was horrible while you were gone. I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired tonight. I don't even really have like anything that exciting to talk about, honestly. It's like, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just keep on driving until my camera dies and then get my vlog done now, but let's see. I'm outlining a new book that I'm working on. When I will work on that book, I have no idea. But that's kind of a little bit of what I did today. I was feeling kind of creative, so I was just sitting there with a pad doing that. And I don't know, it's been like a really relaxed weekend. It's been fun, you know, like Friday night, we, you know, went out to dinner to Cheesecake Factory, and then we went to my brother and sister-in-law's. That was fun. It was very relaxing, but just fun, hanging out. And then last night, we went out to dinner with Caroline and Mike and David, and Caroline's friend, and then we went to that concert, which was fun. And then today, we got up late, and we were going to go to Cheesecake Factory, and then the line was too long, so we went to Fridays, which, I mean, it was just a dinner. It wasn't like, you know, a late lunch. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad, but I slept in. And then, it's just been such a relaxing day. I mean, sometimes I take for granted those days that, like, look at this. I'm going to show you the weather. Do you see? It's totally snowing. Sometimes I take for granted the, just the relaxing days, you know, the relaxing weekends. And those are the kind of things that, like, I enjoy having to do. You know, like, I enjoy, like, not having to do, but, like, you know, those commitments that are, like, going out to dinner or going over to my family's house. Like, I enjoy those kind of commitments. The kind of commitments I don't necessarily enjoy going to are, like, I don't know, weddings and big birthday parties and stuff like that. I just don't, like, social anxiety wise, like, I get very, very nervous. But if I'm going with just, like, a close group of friends, then I'm completely fine. Like, I don't feel like, you know, it's this big thing. And I'm better with that than I used to be, but my social anxiety used to be so bad with that stuff, you know, like, but now it's not as bad as it used to be. I think doing YouTube videos has really helped me a lot with the social anxiety and talking to people, you know. There was a time, like, when I would, like, never, like, I could have somebody's phone number from a 12-step meeting, you know, like, for, like, a year, and I would never reach out to them and just be like, hey, like, you know, go get a cup of coffee sometime after a meeting or whatever, and which is an important part of being in recovery, is reaching out, and we call it fellowshipping, you know. And there was a time when I wouldn't do that, that I was, like, so uncomfortable in my own skin that I wouldn't reach out to anybody, you know. And not even my friends. Like, I'm not great about, like Tanya and Melissa are probably, like, the only two friends that I actually, like, text and call. Like, I'm not really great about, well, and, like, Dustin on YouTube and Sam, but other than that, on YouTube, like, I mean, I don't, like, I'm not good about, like, reaching out and talking to people. I just am not. Like, you know, I think that whole perception of what will you think of me, like, I still have that from when I was growing up. And I think for so long, I just lived this very, like, professional life, you know, where I worked and then I came home, and that was, like, my life. And so today, my life, like, as, you know, being on YouTube and, like, social media and stuff is so completely different. Like, you know, I never, like, had that life before. I was never on social media. I didn't understand it. It didn't mean anything to me, you know, really, before I got out of my old relationship and, like, started making YouTube videos, even years and years later. Like, for years when Alex and I were together, I just didn't really, you know, do all that kind of stuff because it just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. So, but I like it now. Like, I ended that vlog last night, was it last night, or was it, like, my Peterisms video about how much I like social? I mean, I enjoy social media. I think it's fun. I think it's, you know, like, I was just, like, reading my Twitter feed, and I was seeing that, like, Paris Hilton has a new album coming out, and Perez Hilton's been sick. Paris and Perez Hilton back to back. Perez Hilton is sick, and he said something to the effect of he's, like, lost weight because, or no, that he's lost his appetite, which isn't a bad thing, but he hasn't lost his sense of humor or something like that. I mean, I like reading that kind of stuff, you know. The only one that I don't really ever get on is Facebook. Like, I don't know what it is about Facebook. Honest to God, it's like, the whole election thing really turned me off from Facebook. And I think what it was that there are so many people on there, like, I get daily friend requests from people on Facebook. And I don't know if I've said this on here in a while, but, like, I long ago stopped accepting friend requests on Facebook. Like, I have to, like, know the person in my personal life or I don't accept it. Because so many people were shits and came and left really horrible comments on my pictures of, like, me and my husband on our wedding. And they would say, like, you know, the F word or whatever. And I'm like, no. So I can't, like, I don't know who to trust. So I just don't accept any Facebook friend requests unless it's, you know, somebody that I know really, really well. Or from, like, a meeting or something like that. But I don't ever get on it. And, you know, honestly, it's like, the political stuff really turned me off. And this is why. I am a believer that everybody has a right to their opinion, right? I enjoy political conversations, especially if you have two opposing belief systems, right? But within that, if we say it in a respectful way, and I'm not saying like who you want or who you don't want for some office, right? I'm saying like a political opinion about a stance or whatever. Like if you say it in a respectful way and we can have a conversation about it and say, oh, well, like, you know, okay, like I'm sitting here like trying to think of like a safe topic. Okay, like, you know, kind of like the environment. You know, if somebody says, well, this is what I think, you know, of the environment, and somebody else says, well, I don't think that, you know, like, where's your information? And then you're like, well, I read this article and blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, okay, well, that article comes from, you know, a liberal or a conservative magazine, so it makes sense that they have that stance. Oh, really? Like, I didn't realize that. You know, you can have a respectful conversation. What really drove me crazy was friends of mine, no matter what side of the spectrum they stood on, no matter how conservative or liberal they were, because I felt this way about both sets of friends, was that their statuses on Facebook were so, God, I almost want to say deranged. I mean, they were so like nasty and disrespectful, and it would be like, I don't give a F what you think, and if you don't agree with me, then defriend me, and I don't want you in my life. And I'm like, this has gone too far. Like, seriously, like, you know. And then friends of mine would like get drunk and put stupid shit up on there, and I'm just like, you know, about political issues, and I'm like, you know, everybody that had a Facebook felt like they were, you know, a political commentator, and it was just so ugly, and it wasn't the way that it should be, and it was disrespectful, and I didn't defriend friends over it. I think maybe like one or two, because they made some really ridiculous statements about like marriage equality. And not that I even listen, not that I even have issues with people that don't agree with it, okay? But have a discussion with me about it first, right? Like, tell me why you feel the way that you do. Allow me to have that conversation with you, like, you know? What I can't stand is when people just make ignorant statements out of the need to be ignorant, and they're not willing to remain teachable or educate themselves or even open themselves up to the conversation. You know, like, that's what bothers me. I think as you get older, one of the things you realize is something that you felt at 20 is not necessarily something that you felt at 40, and not something that you felt at 32, having gone through something like a death of a family member or a breakup or leaving a career that you don't feel as strongly about as you did back then, you know, and other things you feel stronger about. And, you know, for me, it's like, it's interesting who my close friends remained after all of that stuff, because my close friends and I all have some varying political beliefs, but we were able to sit at dinner and have a conversation about it. You know, it didn't have to get ugly. I had some friends that wanted to force nasty conversations at dinner, and I was like, this isn't why I came to dinner, so that I could sit here and be forced to have to listen to your opinion of, well, I'm right and you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's such bullshit. That's not friendship. That's not friendship at all, you know? And I don't know. A lot of how people stated things just really turned me off. And so I didn't, you know, go through and delete everybody as a friend that I had an issue with because they didn't believe in what I believed in. That's not the case at all. I mean, I believe in America. I believe in a freedom of speech if it's used appropriately. I believe in, you know, I mean, and I know that I can't decide, I personally don't have a right to decide what that means, but, you know, like, I believe in those things, you know, that everybody has a right to a vote, and, you know, I believe in that stuff. It means something to me, you know, but, like, do we, all of us not, I mean, can't we be nice to one another while we engage in those freedoms? Like, we don't have to be ugly about it, you know what I mean? And, so I just started pulling away from Facebook at that time. I just was like, I don't know, like, I just didn't really want to, you know, it's almost kind of like, when you have a friend and you're close with them but not super close, like you don't really know them that well, or maybe you think you do or whatever, and then they like tell you a bunch of shit about your life that like you didn't really want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never forget, we have these friends of ours, and I love them, and I haven't seen them in forever. They don't even live in Indianapolis anymore, but I'll never forget when they told us they were swingers. I mean, this is a heterosexual couple. They were not hitting on us, but they told us that they were swingers at dinner one night, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm happy for you. You know, I've talked about this on here before. You guys know that I'm such a believer in traditional marriage, you know, and like, that's, for me, that's my marriage, right? Like, I believe in traditional marriage for my marriage. If you don't believe in that, hey, you know, whatever you do behind closed doors between two adults and it's consensual, have at it. But I don't need to know about that, right? And then after that, every time that I would see them, I couldn't get that out of my head. Like, that's all I thought about them, right? And I feel like Facebook is like that sometimes. You know, it's like, it's either people just all they do is show pictures of their grandkids or their kids, which that's fine. Like, you know, I don't have an issue with that. And I think that's kind of what it's for today, you know, when it started out of all this college kid stuff. But then there's people that just want to force their opinion about the world, you know, and like that I just don't understand at all. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know, and it's almost like you see a side of people that like you didn't really need to know. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I didn't need to know that you felt that strongly about that, or I didn't need to know that. You know what I mean? It's like if everybody put their like deepest shit up there, it's like, oh. And I feel like that's kind of what some people's political opinions were like. I don't know. Does anybody agree with me on that? Oh man, my camera is like almost totally dead, so I'm gonna turn it off and I'll be back in just a little bit. Let it cool down for a while. Oh, the battery's back up to 21%. I sat here for a second. Sometimes when I turn it off and I turn it back on, it like goes down. It like goes back up. So I have 21% in it. I was just sitting here listening to The Woman in the Window. It's so good. If you guys want a good mystery, it is like a great mystery. It's very bizarre, though. So anyway, I don't need to get into that Facebook conversation again. What's interesting to me is, like, I thought we were kind of getting away from all of the Facebook stuff, you know? And then, like, Tanya and Melissa, they're always on Facebook. Like, they love it. So, I don't know. Do you guys like Facebook? What's your favorite social media? I think my favorite is probably Twitter, and then Instagram, and then Snapchat, but I haven't been using Snapchat a whole lot lately. Oh no, I always forget this one. I love Goodreads. So if you guys don't know what Goodreads is kind of like Facebook, but for readers. It's for people that like to read, and it's all about books. It's just everything to do with books. And so, like, you go on there and you start a profile, and then like you like every time you read a book, you like go in there and you like say what books you've read, and then like it recommends books to you, but I don't use it for that. And then you can rate. I like rate every book that I read, and then like you can also put in there like what books you're reading. So I always have in there like currently whatever books I'm reading, and then you like friend people, then you can see like their statuses of what they're reading. You can read their reviews, you can read their updates, stuff like that. A lot of booktubers use it. I love it, and what I love about it is that it's really kind of like safe in comparison to like all the other social media. And what I mean by safe is it's nice. Like, it's about books, you know what I mean? It's not about like all of this other bullshit and, oh, so-and-so didn't like my picture, and, you know, like like how Twitter gets messy and all that kind. I mean, I don't enjoy that stuff. I just don't. I try to stay out of it. And I think it's petty, and I don't have time for it, honestly. I have too many other things I'd like to spend my time doing. And I have friends of mine that love that messiness. And hey, I get that it's like gossip to you, but like, you know, I just don't enjoy it. So oh God, my leg is itching me. But I love Goodreads. And I always forget that as like a social media app. Like I don't usually like consider that like a social media app. But I get on it like several times a day. And when I see other people that have done reviews, it's like a really good way for me to find like books that I want to read. So I, a lot of times, like use that as a book that I want to read. I was looking at this like assisted living program, and it's like like this one big house, and then it's houses in there, and they look like each one looks like this looks like a Victorian house. It's very cool. Would you live in an assisted living program if you were older, like I would? Like, I think it would maybe kind of be fun. I told Alex that. He's like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I think it would be kind of fun, you know? Like, and the reality is that that's not something that we'll ever, like, have to really worry about because, I mean, unless something would happen to Alex, but, like, with a 12-year age difference, I mean, if I was... My dad is 77 and works every day. So, you know, like he's not moving in any assisted living program, but maybe my future will be different than his. But if I was 80, you know, that would mean that Alex would be 68. Not a lot of 68-year-olds are in an assisted living program. So if I was 85, you know, Alex would be, what, 73? I mean, okay, so then we move into assisted living program at 85 and 73. I mean, I guess. It's weird to think of us that age. God, if I was 85, that's 40 more years. That's why I gotta get healthy. So I live a long, happy life. I'm going through this yellow light here because I'm not gonna try to stop on the ice and snow. Oh my Lord. I drove a completely different direction tonight. I was going to go home and charge all my stuff, and I didn't end up doing that. And this stupid charger that I have in my car, now where did I put it? Doesn't work anymore. And Tanya's like, oh, your phone is broken. I'm like, my phone is not broken. I know my phone's not broken. But this cord won't work anymore, and I don't know why. It's not working to charge my phone. I don't know if it won't go all the way in or what the problem is, but me trying to charge this is taking... Then it's like taking battery out of my phone. I don't know why. Yeah, I won't charge it anymore. I'm over it. Stupid cord. I have like a Mophie thing, not a Morphe brush, a Mophie, you know, like juice pack that for my phone, like as a case. I don't ever use it. I bought a new one last year. I've used it twice. It's so heavy. Oh my God, I think I might have that in here. If I do, then I can charge my phone that way. That would be awesome if I do have it in here. Seriously? I bet you anything it's not charged though. What's the top to it? Oh my God, that would be awesome if it... Why can't I find the top to the Mophie thing? Do you guys ever do this? Like you try to just like feel some kind of pull over. I found it. Ta-da! Now, after going through all of that, I bet you anything it's not charged. Okay. Take my phone. I just took a picture. Did you hear that? That was funny. Okay. When did I use it last? I don't even remember using it last. It's navy blue though. Well, I'll go home and charge that. I had a white one before, and I used like the Kardashians do, you know, because they're so bougie like that. I used it so much that I just charged my phone with it. I feel like I go through chargers and those cords like all the time. Now I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, living in an old person's home. Do we call them that? That's mean though, isn't it? To call them an old person's home? Call them assisted living programs. Is it mean? I mean, if I was an old person, I guess you could say, hey, where do you live? I live at my old person's home. I don't think that's mean. My aunt, a couple years ago, oh, she hated it. She had to go to one because, like, she had fallen in this restaurant, and she had, like, hurt her hip, and she had to have a hip replacement surgery. And so she was in an assisted living program for, like, 2 weeks, and we went up there and visited her. And it was this place, like, 20 miles north of Indianapolis. Oh, no, maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 miles north of Indianapolis. But it was out in the middle of nowhere. And it was, like, this huge place. It looked like a log cabin lodge. And we walked in, and there was this huge lobby that was, like, a hotel lobby. And, it had all of these like really nice couches, and the whole place looked like this log cabin lodge. It was awesome. And then there was like a coffee shop that you like right there, like as you walked in the lobby, it was like this really cool, like it just felt like a hotel lobby. And it wasn't like a really big assisted living program. It was like a smaller one. And I was kind of like looking around. They had this like coffee shop where you could get sandwiches and you could get coffee and all this kind of stuff. And then they had a movie theater, and then they had a bookstore, and they had a library, and they had a cafeteria. And the cafeteria, I mean, all of it, it didn't look, none of it looked sterile. It all looked very much like a log cabin that you would see like in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And it was on these beautiful grounds. These people's like apartments were very cool. They were like, I looked into some of them and you could see them, and they were like wood floors, and they just were really neat, you know? And I was talking to my Aunt Kathy about it. I was like, oh, this would not be a bad place, like, you know? And she's like, oh, I hate it here. But she was on like a hospital unit. So like where she was more of like a hospital unit. She's like, I hate it here. She's like, I can't wait to get out of here and go home. And I'm like, I could totally live here. It wouldn't be that bad. And I talked to one of the nurses, and it's like you buy certain plans, and there's like this one plan, it's just like unlimited. Like you can like have all the food you want. You can go to the coffee shop whenever you want. So you could just get up and have a little sandwich and read in the lounge. And they had like a gym with a full-size pool in it, and they had like a little like lazy river thing that went around this pool where people could just like bob and stuff. And I thought, this is fantastic. Like I could totally live here. That's Alex. So anyway, but I could totally live there. I would like enjoy it, you know? Go see a little movie, have some friends, go get a coffee. I think that'd be nice. I wouldn't mind that at all. Hell, I might want to move in there now. But see, I always think of the cuteness of that kind of stuff. Like to me, it just feels like a huge like cruise ship that you live on, you know? They're expensive though. I know they're not cheap. I'm making some YouTube money now so I can pay for my old person's home when I'm like up there. I'd be like the oldest living YouTuber living up in an old person's home doing YouTube videos every day. I totally would too. I think it'd be so much fun. I'd have all my fans up in there. My fans, like, you know, and then I'd have like jazzercise drama. I'd be doing it with all the old ladies up in there. Would be good Judies. It'd be real fun. He thinks Boo has an allergy to the food. He thinks Boo is allergic to the food. I'm like, Boo is not allergic to the food. He's sneezing. His nose is running. Tanya thinks he has an upper respiratory infection. She's like, and you need to go and take him to the vet because he can't be around pee-pee with a heart condition. But I'm not going to tell Alex that last part of it. I'll tell him that tomorrow after I talk to the vet and they tell us what it is. It's just so sad seeing dogs sick. I'm like, I can't believe we have 2 sick dogs at the same time. I mean, Pee-Pee acts fine, acts completely fine. But it's just so sad to see these dogs sick, you know? It's like Boo Radley can't do anything about it, and he's just like so miserable. And but I guess we'll figure it out. Anyway. I wanted to listen to some more of my audiobook now that the roads are kind of like clearing up a little bit, but I don't want to go home and charge my phone for an hour then come back out. Hell, I almost got my vlog done now. Oh, I'm kind of excited to have a couple days off, get sleep in, not do a whole lot, relax. Get caught up on stuff, laundry and cleaning. This little deli there, that's cute. Midday Deli, I've never seen that place before. Well, that's because I don't ever come over here. What do you guys do on your days off? Do you like to do big stuff, like go out and have all kinds of big shindigs, or do you like to relax? I like to relax. Like, that's a day off for me. I just started watching 60 Days In again today. So, have you guys watched it? It started in Jeffersonville, Indiana, at the jail down there, but I love that show. This season's supposed to be like really good on it though. Rich, creamy, and dreamy. Those are the new drinks that they have at McDonald's, they're called. Okay. I haven't even been to McDonald's for a Diet Coke in a long time. I haven't really. I will be honest, I got a fountain Diet Pepsi for the meeting tonight, but like I didn't even enjoy it. Like I'm not even really enjoying drinking soda right now. And I got a soda earlier when we were so today was a soda day for me. I got a Dr. Pepper when we were at Fridays because I was so over the fact that I couldn't get any food that I really wanted there. They're like one place that has no vegetarian options. Like their vegetarian options, they don't have any really except for a side salad. And I don't think the girl really got it. I kept on saying to her, I was like, you know, like, well, what other vegetarian options do you have? And she's like, well, we have like a turkey avocado sandwich. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. Like vegetarian, like no meat. And she's like, oh, well, we have a chicken salad. I'm like, sweetie, vegetarian. That means I don't eat meat. I go, I'll just have a cup of that soup. The soup was so bad. It was like the worst soup ever. It was broccoli cheddar. It was nasty. And I love broccoli cheddar soup. I get it at Fresh Time all the time. It's fantastic. But this was gross. It tasted like... Well, what was so funny was Alex got chicken fingers, which you know that they just put up in the microwave. And then I got a side salad and a cup of soup, which I'm sure they have back there just in those huge tureens. And it took like 35 minutes for us to get our food. And I'm like, okay, what is taking so long for us to get our food when there's A, nobody in this restaurant, and B, all you have to do back there is go scoop some soup in a bowl and throw together a salad. And she's like, she said to us, she comes over to us, she goes, I'm gonna go and dip my head back in the kitchen. She was really sweet, but she was like, I'm gonna go dip my head back in the kitchen and see if they're done cooking your food. And I thought, cooking my food? Like as if they're making this soup just for me? Come on now. people crack me up. Alex is like, she's so nice. She needs to be working at a high-end restaurant. I said, I agree. Because she can charm the pants off of everybody, but I don't believe they're cooking my soup back there. Oh, it's horrible. It tasted plasticky. And the salad sucked, too. And my fountain pop was watered down, and none of it was any good. The breadstick wasn't even good that came with my salad. I was so mad about all of it. I looked at Alex. I started laughing halfway through lunch, and he goes, what are you laughing at? And I go, I forgot how much I hate Fridays. But back in the day, Fridays was kind of the place. Like, I mean, we used to go, and I loved it. The one downtown Indianapolis was fun. I actually saw Jay Leno in there around the race time. He used to go to all the race stuff in Indianapolis, and I saw him in there one time. Now, honestly, how many of you watched my hour and 10-minute vlog last night? That was basically like a movie. Do you guys realize that I am like, okay, I have to tell you something so funny. I was reading this stream of tweets that somebody tagged me in, you know, about all this BS. So anyway, this girl was like, YouTubers are very calculated about what they put out there. Like, this person was obviously not a Peter Monn fan. And she said, YouTubers are very calculated about how they put things out there into the world. When you watch their videos, you need to be very careful. She was like, how do you know that Peter Monn isn't lying about everything that he puts out there and the whole thing, and he's completely different in real life, okay? Now, I could understand that if I was posting one highly edited 20-minute video a day. I don't do that. I post 3 videos on channels where I'm sitting down in a chair, and I do not edit them. It is from start to finish, so what you see is what you get. Like, there's no editing to it whatsoever, right? So unless I'm an absolute genius of control over what comes out of my mouth, which I'm not, because I don't edit, and I don't edit like on YouTube, and I don't edit in real life, so I say a lot of shit I shouldn't say sometimes. But on top of that, I'm vlogging 45 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes on a daily basis, and have for over 300 days now, like, you know, almost 400 days. I would like to see anybody else out there that is that contrived, calculated, and manipulative do a vlog every day that's an hour long for 400 days and completely decide exactly every moment of that hour conversation what they're going to put out there for people to be so coerced that they are somebody different in real life than they are on the vlog. That is the biggest idiot statement I have ever heard in my entire life. Psh. I was like, whatever, girl. Seriously? So I sit down and I script out my vlogs. I script out everything I'm going to say. I think of everything I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it before I get in a car. And I drive around for an hour and I say what? Like, are you insane? Because you are so unwilling to admit that you are wrong in who you support on YouTube. You so need to stand by this idea. It's totally crazy to me, you know? It's like, do you have any kind of mind where you might step back and go, oh, or maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I'm wrong and I was manipulated by somebody and I didn't realize that. You know, it's like, no, it's so crazy to me. I feel like recently I've been like watching all these YouTubers, and like half of them I don't even know, and like other people will suggest them to me, and one of them is this Blair White. Do you guys know Blair White? So she's this transgender, conservative, right-winger, and I don't agree necessarily politically with a lot of what she says, but she's very well-spoken and very educated as well. But like I said, I don't agree with her politics necessarily. I don't disagree with some of her things that she says, but one of the things I like about her is she constantly is saying that we need to have a discussion or a discourse on it. She's very shady, and it's funny how she does. Her videos are funny. But anyway, she constantly comes for this one YouTuber, and she like made this video totally owning her. Nobody asked her to do it. Nobody said you have to do this video. Nobody said, you know, like, you're in the wrong, you need to do it. She just, I don't think, you know, like, she just came on there. I mean, I'm sure some people did on Twitter and things like that, but she just sat down and made this video where she basically owned where she was wrong and why she was coming for this other person. And I thought, you know, like, why is that such a tough concept for us to understand? you know, like we don't have to like each other, and we don't have to agree with each other, but do we have to be cruel to each other? And why can't we just admit when we're wrong? And when we've done something fucked up, admit that we did something that was fucked up, you know, like, why can't people just, you know, like all of this infighting that happens, not just in the drama community, but all over YouTube. It's like, why can't you just get on camera or even just call that person up and say, hey, I'm really sorry. Like, you know, it's just not that deep. And yeah, let's go our separate ways. We don't need to be friends anymore. But like, hey, I'm really sorry I brought you some misery and it won't happen again. Like, I just don't understand that. Why it can't like just be that simple. Like, why does it have to be so deep, you know, that, I don't know, it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad that what should be for entertainment purposes has to get so ugly. And like, I get so many comments where people are like, I come to your videos because I want to escape the craziness that's going on in my life, or I come to your videos because I want to, you know, hear you talk about certain topics that like really help me out, or something like that. And then it's like, there's this whole factor over here that's just like negative, and it's like, not with me, but like other people, you know, I don't think that I'm that way. And then they're like, you know, I don't know, it's like, why can't you just own your shit like I have in the past and a lot of other people have, and just admit where you were wrong and you screwed up? And like, I'm watching this person who's like, you know, I mean, pretty militant about her beliefs, and yet she gets on camera and she apologizes when she was wrong. And I was like, that's where I'm talking about, like, where I'm pleasantly surprised by somebody. They do something that's out of character in a positive way, you know, and I think that to me is awesome. Like, hey, isn't that a learning experience? We all listen. We all have the right to our opinions. We all have the right to our beliefs. We all can believe different things. We all can like and dislike different people. We don't have to agree on any of it, but can we please be kind to one another while we're doing it? Like, that doesn't have to be hard. You know what I mean? Let's just be nice to one another. So, with that being said, if you have made it to, I think this is at an hour at this point, put blue hearts below, and then I'll know who made it through the entire vlog. So, I love you guys. This has gone on for way too long tonight. Love one another. Be kind to each other. Be compassionate. Take care of one another. We never know when it's going to be our last day. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.